This is Mo from MRI Trading. I wanted to make a quick video about NVDA because it looks like it's starting to get into a good place. In front of me, I have the NVIDIA one-day chart, and we're going to add an indicator. This will be Magic Linear Regression Channel by MRI Inc. Now, what I usually try and do is set a start time. You'll see the prompt for start time. Set a start time at a pivot high or pivot low, and then find the most recent pivot higher or matching pivot high or pivot low, so I can have a full wave cycle. Now I could start back here, but I like this gap right here as the bottom of this gap as a start point. So I'm going to click here to start, and then use this recent. Let's see. Actually, let's use this this low right here as the end, and then I want to extend this. We now have a channel going through NVIDIA. Let's see what 100 will do for us. That's pretty good. So let's leave it at 100. And what I want to see is a channel that gets respected. So by default, the way the linear regression channel works is that it finds the maximum deviation and uses that as the border. But you see that none of these other bottoms hit the bottom border. And that's not it though. So what I want to do is add half band and an inner Fibonacci band upper and see if we're getting any agreements there. And there you have it. We have on the half band bounces on the inner Fibonacci band upper. On the half band, we have a bounce, half band, bounce, inner Fibonacci upper, inner Fibonacci. So we're getting a lot of agreements to this band. It's being respected in a lot of places. So I'm going to like this one, and we're going to stick with that. So I see two scenarios playing out. There's a bear scenario, which I think is less likely, and that is based on this double top right here. Bop, 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 and bop. And you see we broke the neckline. And the neckline is essentially this band here. And the way that these double tops work is that you could potentially go from the top, or the distance that you can go is from the top to the neckline. So if I copy that, paste that. So from that break, we could potentially go all the way back down to this half band, just like we did right here. The reason I don't think we'll do that is because of this. I think this is a dragonfly. This is this very strong wick that suggests that there's a lot of buying pressure in NVIDIA once it got below this this regression line. And here we see the following day, which is today, we have another move up. So the first bearish scenario is that we could see this ultimately respect this double top and go down here and maybe bounce back up and then crash through. Again, I don't think this one is as likely. Now the bullish scenario is that, let's move this so we can see it. The bullish scenario is that we continue rising up, maybe hit this half band or this upper Fibonacci band, maybe come down, do a little correction, maybe some consolidation, or we could potentially just go straight up and hit the top of that band, which would put us at over 170. So we're looking at maybe 175. If it happens earlier, let's say 170. So that to me is the more likely scenario. And the other reason why that seems more likely, actually, there's a few reasons, but just looking at the Magic Linear Regression Channel and the fact that we already saw a bounce, so we're picking this direction after we're seeing a strength from the bottom. I'm going to add another Magic Linear Regression band, or a Magic Linear Regression Channel. Okay, let's get rid of that. And let's start from here. And we're going to end sometime in the future. And we're going to change this channel so that it's only a horizontal line. And let's see. And we only want to show the baseline. And we want it to start at the high. So what that does is gives us a line of the line of resistance that existed here. So we went up here, stayed below it, came up here, bounced down, retested it, came in, we bounced down, retested it, came back down. So we're still hanging out around here, and this is yet another retest. And as you can see, there's a confluence between this resistance line and this regression channel line. So this area right here looks like it's a prime area for NVIDIA to bounce from and take off. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. We're kind of in the earlier stages. And those two could prove to be enough to say that NVIDIA is going to take the second scenario, but there's something else. So I'm going to add the Multi-VWAP by @MWright Inc. And that's going to take a second to load. But what the Multi-VWAP does is it gives us a channel, or I'm sorry, it gives us, actually, did I get it? It doesn't take that long to load. Oh, there, okay, maybe it does. Okay, so it's loading now. And what that'll do is give us an anchored VWAP from some key areas. So let's take a look at that. So we have a 50-day anchored VWAP. We just hit that and bounced off of it. And let's get rid of some of these diagrams so it's a little bit less messy. Take these out. As you can see, the 5-day anchored volume weighted average price is starting to curl up, and then it's going to, on Monday, it's going to lose this data. So it'll be a rising 5-day anchored volume weighted average price. And as you can see, we just broke that. Let's go to the 15-minute chart real quick, just so that'll stand out a little bit more. Let's see. Let's auto fit that to screen. Let the VWAP redraw. It'll take a second. There we go. So this is the 5-day anchored VWAP. So we're above, looks like we're above everything except for today's anchored VWAP. But we're up above the 5-day, the 4-day, 3-day, and the 2-day. But being above the 5-day is key. According to Brian Shannon from AlphaTrends, whose advice I very much value. So this will be a rising 5-day. So on Monday, the price stays above that rising 5-day after having just broke above it. That would be a good sign. So we're looking at NVIDIA starting to become strong again. So let's go back to the daily. There we go. So now we have these bounces off of the channel. We just hit the baseline. Looks like we're bouncing back up. We're above the 5-day anchored volume weighted average price. Also, see, it looks like we have the 20-day and the month to date that are still overhead. And those will all meet at this baseline, at this resistance that was generated by this candle here on June 20th. But like I said, I think the likely scenario is that it'll go through there. It could do something where it gets up to those, maybe a little bit of consolidation, but it'll go up to here. And it could actually come there to the half band or the upper Fibonacci band before getting up here. But the reason I'm so bullish on NVIDIA is because not for any, I mean, other than the fact that, they killed it on earnings. But that's just what it does when you least expect it. And actually after earnings, it had a pretty big drop. And NVIDIA, when it drops after earnings, well, it does eventually recover. And when it does recover, it's a prolonged recovery. But most of the times, or at least most of the time over the past year or so, there wasn't actually a downside after the earnings. So I'm thinking we already saw the big drop post earnings, and we're ready to start ripping back up. So I'm looking at NVIDIA to go from 138 to maybe 170 by the end of the year, potentially. But that's it. That's using the Magic Linear Regression Channel and the Multi-VWAP. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. This will also be posted to YouTube, so you can see it there along with some of the other videos. Thanks for watching. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching it on TradingView, go ahead and hit that boost button and let me know what you think. Thank you.